I still can't stop listening to the XX album. Ever since, it's just there all the time in my playlist. All the fucking time. Hello everyone! Today we are posting up another album review because it's the beginning of the year, everybody wants to come out with an album, there's January, and yes, we literally can't stop reviewing. Next on the review list is Christopher Taylor, aka Sohn, an English producer, songwriter, musician, etc., whose debut album from 2014, Tremors, I widely enjoyed. Tremors was working and still successfully works as a great oppositions record with surprising reverse psychology throughout, with some direct to listeners talks, with changing discomfort to worms beneath the layers of ice. Tremors is a fantastic debut record which I really like to come back to. Rennen, the new album, the follow-up, naturally picks up where Tremors left off. But the change now is evident. First thing that kind of stand out the most from all the things is that the new work is more musically fluid, spacious, mellow, still, and the lyrics gathered more personal context ever was presented by Sohn. I was kind of confused at the beginning of the album, though the usual electronic approach gave out hints that this is still Sohn, it's just that he got married, became a father, moved to LA, and went ultra bon iver in some isolated recording studio. The pacing of his art changed a lot with this one. For better or for worse? I don't know. There's some cool, respectful stylistic diversity to this record. First two tracks on the album present a totally different vocal approach. Instead of post James Blake moody R&B, notice the almost blues rock revamped kind of performance. Sohn blues rock? What? Hard Liquor, the cinematic opener track, brings out almost something country or westerns reminiscent, which was unnecessary for me personally, but hearing Sohn experimenting like this is pretty fun. Instrumentally, it's quite a beautiful track with those cool factory beats reflecting the much more modern, kind of usual for Sohn production style. Together, it all doesn't really work for me that well. I'd prefer the fake industrial instrumental solo. Then there's Conrad track with a lot of Banks inspired stuff. Did producing the record for Banks reflect its on, or Banks' record did? It has dance floor dying beats, more groovy but still blues rockish vocal delivery, plus the keyboard. Together, in opposite to Hard Liquor, it actually combines much better with this constantly repetitive chorus of I can feel it coming but we never go back. It's a male Banks kind of track featuring some climate change lyrics. Cute. Signal, which has a beautiful artsy video featuring Mila Jovovich in Sorrow and Pain, has an interesting set of sounds and a nice build-up, but the climax of the track doesn't explore further, and overall it lacks some excitement. But I like Dead Wrong quite a bit, for example, with its quirky palette and almost Justin Timberlake gold, or Hosier went bigger, sweet pop delivery from Christopher. This is a good alternative pop hit. I like the heavier synchronized synths as well in this track. The US election critique track Primary was one of the what the fuck moments on the record, lyrically, when I was reading the lyrics for the first time. Coming from someone like Sohn, I really need time to get used to him being so engaging with the outside world, I guess, with the real things. I like the deep house cut in the second part of the track, and overall the Bon Iver tone, but the song is still easy forgettable, maybe due to its over-subtleness of elegance. I do like the title track on the record with some beautiful vocal delivery and simple piano, and just the overall simplicity of it, which proves that Sohn doesn't need a heavy electronic production behind to sound interesting and quite amazing. It's a powerful cut on the record. Christopher's music is still kind of gloomy throughout the record, but he craftily manages to surprise the listener with some unexpected turns and directions in some of the tracks. The build-up of Falling track is a wow moment on the album, with this repetitive mantra shutting down before the already heard heavy, noisy synth breakdown. Not my highest expectation for the chaos I wanted there, but it will do. The track still ends nicely with same Jaguar reminding falling, 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 falling howled through. If you do like James Blake's stuff, like I do, you couldn't resist Proof track, which screamed it at some of its moments. I liked Proof with the layered, almost danceable, but actually sad instrumental, and damn, those sweet vocals. It's a pretty track. Still Waters is a weak song, though I kinda like the ambient Icelandic approach, but overall track is so bland. Like the super spacey beginning of Harbour, the next one, the closer track, without any particular forming and quite shy vocal delivery. But thanks God it changes for good. The bang transition from the ambient flows to the final chaotic breakdown is a pure bliss. And it feels like this album desperately needed something like that. It really saved the ending for me. Second album by Sohn, Rennen, has a sense of confidence, honesty, and melodic beauty on it, but for me lacks the maximalist feel and clocking, weirdly beautiful electronic production, which made me fall in love with Tremors album way back. For moving to California, this album sounds too Icelandic, I'd say. I can appreciate the way this record flows. It's a very organic process from start to finish, with all the tracks placed and stayed perfectly, besides maybe Still Waters, where Rennen starts to be far more lethargic than was ever needed. But again, Harbour really saves the tone of it and ends it with a bang. For me, this album is the best when the song loses its structure and starts wandering everywhere through shivering rhythms and melodies in search for peace. What do you guys think about new Sohn's quite stripped down record? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, like this video if you like it, share it if you relate to it, and don't forget that you can subscribe to our channel for more album reviews. We already have lots of them, and we'll continue to do them in the future. And we also do all this kind of music world related videos. You can also watch them now. Let your hair down, turn up the volume, and dance till death. But for now, peace out.